Welcome back, guys. As you can see, it's kind of soggy out today, so we're not going to be doing any riding. Today we're going to do some bike modifications. On the agenda for today, we're going to be replacing some generic lock-on grips. We're also going to be replacing a brake lever with an Odyssey brake lever. We're going to be doing these modifications today on the Haro F5 BMX bike. You guys saw this bike in one of my recent videos doing mountain bike trails, and I pretty much ran out of brakes on the trails, as well as the grip, the bolts and stuff stripped out on the lock-on portion, so I lost the grip. Let's get to it. For today's modifications, we're going to need a few tools. So to start with, we've got a 3mm Allen wrench. This is going to be for the lock-on grips. Yours may or may not be the same. We've got a 5mm Allen wrench. This is going to be for the brake lever. Again, yours may or may not be the same, depending on the brand. As we adjust the brake cable and things, if we need to, loosening and tightening the bolts up here by the headset or back here towards the actual brakes, we've got 10mm open or boxed wrenches, either one. And last but not least, gotta have some beer. Well, let's get started. To start with, we'll take our 3mm Allen wrench and loosen the bolt on both the inner and outer collars. Next, we'll remove the outer collar, slide the grip off, and remove the inner collar. As you guys can see, somebody has painted the handlebars on this bike a couple times in the past, so I'm actually going to get some sandpaper and just kind of rough this up just to make sure my new lock-on grips actually get some really good grip. This process is not required, nor is there a specification for it. I'm simply using some 80 grit sandpaper just to remove some of the excess paint to make sure my grips actually get a good grip on the handlebars. I'm also using a rag just to wipe off some of the excess loose particles of paint just to make sure the grips have a good solid surface here. Now we've got the handlebars all set up, it's time to put on the new ones. Again, we've got some generic grips off eBay. They're nothing amazing, nothing fancy. They're just kind of a blue color to match the bike. They're double lock-on grips. Also got the end cap. So, let's put them on. Next, we're going to take our first new grip, assemble the inner collar onto the handlebars. Slide your grip onto the handlebars, inserting it into the collar. You're going to make sure that the grip is fully on the handlebars, so the outer surface is flush with the outer edge of the handlebars. Then you'll assemble your outer collar on the grip. Now would be a good time to insert the end cap. Once you've got it all in position, use your 3mm Allen wrench to tighten the bolts on both collars. When tightening the collar bolts, be careful not to over tighten them to strip them out. These are generic, so they don't have a torque spec, but doing a quick Google search, it looks like a standard torque spec is 3 to 4 Newton meters, which converts over to about 2 to 3 foot-pounds, so that's a good safe measurement. Alright, we got the first one on, so it's time to do the other side. This is where it gets a little bit tricky. First, make sure to stay hydrated. Get our beer. The other side has the brake lever, so we actually have to take the brake lever off first in order to do the grip. And since we're taking the brake lever off and we have another brake lever to put on, might as well go ahead and do the swap, and then we'll get back to the other grip. To start, spin the barrel adjuster so that the slots on the side align with the slot in the brake lever housing. Remove the cable through the slot. Remove the cable end from the lever. Use your 5mm Allen wrench to loosen the clamp bolt. And remove the brake lever from the handlebars. To install a new brake lever, this one has an opening clamp. Take the 5mm Allen wrench and remove the bolt so that the clamp opens. Assemble the brake lever on the handlebars, insert the bolt. Tighten it snug with the 5mm Allen wrench. We're swapping this before we put the grip on, and I know on the other side the grip actually started to come into the curve. What we're going to do is actually leave it kind of loose just so that once we get our grip on, we can get it flush with the outside, get everything all squared up, and then we'll tighten it down. To install a second grip, the process is the same as the first. Start with putting the inner collar on, put the grip on. You'll see here that because the brake lever is on the bend of the handlebars, it's a little difficult for me to get this one to align flush on the outside edge of the handlebars. Once you get things moved into position properly, put the outer collar on and tighten things down. Again, 2 to 3 foot-pounds. We got this second grip on, one more little sip of beer, and then we can get to finishing our brake lever. To finish up the final steps of this modification, you're going to take the cable in and put it into the hole in the brake lever. Make sure the barrel adjuster slots line up with the slots in the brake housing, and slide the cable into place. It may not fit, so what I'm doing here is actually pulling the brake so it clamps on the back wheel, which is giving me a little bit of slack so I can fit it into the barrel adjuster. Once it's in place, adjust the barrel adjuster out and tighten the ring down so that you have a good snug fit with no slack. We got everything all attached back up, squared away. So let's get it kind of in position where we want, which is more just a preference. And we'll tighten everything down and we'll make sure it's good to roll. And our grip's done, so we'll give it a little spin here just for a second. We don't want to be out riding around and lose a grip again and fly off the handlebars, or brakes not working, not be able to stop. So it's always a good thing to test out the bike after any kind of modifications before you get out and going on it. Seems solid. I think we're good. Let's go finish that beer. Well, as you guys have already seen, today's beer of choice is a Naked River Brewing Company Double IPA. It's actually a new brew for them. It came out about a week ago. Fun fact for this brewery, I've already had them in 2 of my episodes. One very early on, and one when I had my kegerator first started up. But today I'm actually going to give a fun fact, and the fun fact for Naked River Brewing Company is I know the owner from kindergarten. I know that has nothing to do with actual brewery, but just something cool. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll catch you guys next time.